right? So we're meeting together. We've talked about the vision of the Stronger Boy Way. Let's shake hands and commit to make it happen. I like it. Good firm handshake, son. And now you've already written your name. I, Jackson, commit to walking the path of the Stronger Boy Way. All right, welcome back. This is our second episode. Today we are going to get Jackson his first patch from the Stronger Boy Way system. And it has been 48 hours, just about, since you opened up your Stronger Boy Way kit. And I think it's safe to say that you are excited about it. No doubt about it. In fact, you have already completely read the entire book. There are 60 patches that he could read through. It looks like 175 pages or so. He read through this in just about 24 hours. So clearly this is something that he's excited about. So you've read the whole book. I've read the parts that I need to read. I haven't read the entire book, but at least I know what we need to do to get started. And I can already say that this is definitely making a positive impact in your life. I've seen some things that you've already done that maybe we've kind of talked about in the past, but it's just now that you're really kind of starting to implement them. And so what I want to commend you for is that you have already been opening the door for your mother as she was walking outside. You opened the door for her, you opened the door to get in the car. All those things we didn't even actually say anything more about. You just read them in the book, because what did you see that it said in the book?
That a mom should never open their own door.
A mom should never open their own door, right? And you definitely were putting that into practice. So that's great. Now, yesterday, or a couple days ago, whenever we were looking at the patches, you saw the all-in patch. And during that sighting, you were like, I wonder if that's the first one that we're supposed to do. I don't know what the all-in patch is. Okay, heavy rut.
Get that one first?
Like I said, we'll read about it. We'll figure that out later. And as it turns out, you were right. That is the very first badge, the very first patch that we are supposed to do. Now, what do you think that, I know that you've already read it. Yeah, you can show the camera that that's the page that we're supposed to be on. Maybe hold it close to your face right here, because that camera might be able to grab it. Oh, you've already put your name there. That's good. Okay. What do you think that patch means when it says all in?
To get committed to doing it already, not like start on a different one.
Yeah, it's like saying you're all in on the program. Mm-hmm. You're all in, you're committed to doing all of it, right? And so you use that word commitment. Talk to me about what you think the word commitment means.
To say you're gonna do it, to like commit to it. Yeah,
to say that you're gonna do it. And here's what I want you to think about, that this idea or principle of commitment is something that really comes from the Bible. In fact, Jesus said in the Sermon on the Mount in Matthew chapter 5, verse number 37, he said, let your yes be your yes and your no be your no. When you think about commitment, here's what I want you to think about. I want you to think about faithfulness to your word. In other words, if you say something, if you say you're going to do something, you do it. And that's what Jesus means when he says, let your yes be yes and your no be no. I know you've had a long day at school, and so you're yawning real big for the camera today. That's all right. You're still committed to doing this, even though you're tired from school, so that's good. Mm-hmm. So it's about being faithful to your word, but here's the most important thing with regard to commitment. Your commitment starts with the fact that you are committed to God. It starts with the fact that you're committed to God. Because a lot of people in the world today lie about the things that they say, right? Your commitment is rooted in the fact that you belong to God and that you want to follow God. And so if you go all the way back to Joshua chapter 24, verse number 15, okay, you remember?
I read that one last night.
Did you read it? What did it say? Do you remember what it talked about? I know you read a lot of passages from it, but Joshua is standing before the children of Israel. And he says, choose this day whom you will serve. And he goes on to talk about whether the gods of your forefathers when they were in Egypt, or the gods of the Amorites or the Hittites or the Perizzites, the Hivites, the Jebusites, all the people of the lands. He says, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. We will serve the Lord, right? And so you need, the most important commitment that you'll ever make in your life is your commitment to who?
God.
To God, yeah. How committed you are to God is going to determine how committed you will be to your future wife. I know we kind of laughed yesterday or the day before whenever we were filming, and it said, kill the dragon, win the girl. And you said, no. Kill the dragon, win the girl.
No.
You don't want to win the girl?
No.
Oh, and you're embarrassed about that because you're 9 years old. But someday you'll probably be married, Lord willing. And you're going to want to be and need to be committed to your wife. You're going to need to be committed to your children. You need to be committed to your job and to your church family, right? So commitment's important, but it all starts with how committed you are to God. But secondly, I want you to think about the fact that commitment is about fulfilling responsibilities. Responsibilities. God put Adam in the garden at the very beginning in Genesis chapter 2, and he gave him a responsibility. Do you remember what that responsibility was?
Not to eat from
Yeah, there was a commitment to not eat from the tree, right? But he gave Adam a job. What was his job?
To give all the names.
Yeah, to give names to all of the animals. But then also, what was he supposed to do with the garden around him? He was supposed to care for it and tend it, right? To take care of it, yeah. And so from the very beginning, God has always given man responsibilities. God has always given man expectations. And so you need to be committed to those things, okay? And so you're going to have responsibilities in your life. And so as we work on this all-in badge today, understanding commitment is not just about what we're doing here with the Stronger Boy Way kit, but it's about understanding that you're going to have commitments in all the areas of your life, okay? A committed man, though, will also make sacrifices. He's going to make sacrifices. What does it mean to make a sacrifice?
To like give something to God.
Okay. That's usually where our mind goes, right? To give something to God, like we talked about the lamb a couple of days ago. Jesus was the lamb. He was a sacrifice to God, okay? But it's not just about making sacrifices to God, although all the sacrifices we make are technically to God, but it's also about maybe choosing to not do something because you want to do something else. And so some of the things that are going to be required of you here are going to require sacrifices, like if you want to get your physical preparedness badge, it's going to maybe require that you sacrifice eating certain foods that you might want to eat because it's not going to be helpful for you in pursuing that physical preparedness badge because you might not be as healthy, right? Or it's going to be requiring sacrifice of your time. Maybe you want to watch a TV show, but you really need to exercise so that you can get that physical preparedness badge, right? And so it's going to require sacrifices. All right, the last thing. A committed man has to have endurance, especially when things get really difficult. A lot of times people will quit. They'll give up when things get hard. And being truly committed means that you have to have endurance to push through those things. In fact, the book of James tells us in James chapter 1, verses 2 through 4, it says, "Count it all joy, my brethren, when you fall into trials or difficulties of various kinds. For you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance or steadfastness. And let steadfastness have its full effect, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing." God sometimes allows us to have difficulties in our life to help us to grow, to help to challenge our commitments, to help us to understand what we're really committed to. And so some of these things, like we talked about last night, are going to be difficult. They're not always going to be easy. In fact, you thought you finished one of the badges last night when you hadn't actually finished it. And we talked about how it's actually good that it's difficult because you, at the end of it, you want to be proud of what you did. You want to see that you accomplished something that was worth working on, right? And so I want you to think about commitment means being faithful to your word. It means being committed to God. It means making sacrifices. And it means having endurance. And all of that has this idea of fulfilling your responsibilities that God has given to you, okay? So at this time, let's make the commitment in the book, okay? Open up the page to the all-in badge, and we're going to read what the commitment page says. All right, let's read it together here. All right, the challenge. This is the first patch to earn. It's a commitment between father and son, a pact between the two of you that you are in this together. No final for this one. Just meet together, make a plan, commit to it, and dive in. All right. So we're meeting together. We've talked about the vision of the Stronger Boy way. Let's shake hands and commit to make it happen. I like it. Good firm handshake, son. And now you've already written your name. I, Jackson, commit to walking the path of the Stronger Boy way, that I may become a stronger man. All right. So what I want you to do is sign that.
Wait, what?
Sign. You put your signature right here. And today's date, just write your name. Sign your name, Jackson Moore. All right. Okay. And today's date is May 18th, 5/18.
Oh, it's so close to me going over.
18, 2026. All right. And then I'm going to read my part. I, Jordan Moore, commit to helping my son walk the path of the Stronger Boy way, that he may become a stronger man. Signed, Jordan Moore.
Whoa.
5/18/26. Now my signature looks a little different than yours because you haven't really learned to sign your name yet, but we'll work on that. Okay. So consider it written in stone. Earlier you grabbed a pencil. I said, no, grab a pen because it needs to be permanent. We don't want it to be something we can erase. This is something we're committed to, right? So go ahead and take off that badge.
Finally.
All right. That patch. Pull it off of there. Good. Now show it to the camera. The all-in patch. All right, bud. Give me 5. That's kind of interesting 5 backhand there, but I'll take it. And now we are all in on the Stronger Boy way. What was that?
Where do I put it?
Well, let's just leave it on here for now, and as we figure things out, we'll figure out a place to put it with Velcro, maybe a backpack or a hat or something like that. Okay?
Backpack.
All right. If you liked this video, consider liking and subscribing. Be looking for more content as we progress through the Stronger Boy way. We'll put out as many videos as we can. Maybe not for every single patch, but we'll do it as often as we can. All right. Thanks for joining us.